Good news is on the horizon for millions of seniors across America. Your retirement benefits could see a boost of up to $2,400 under a newly proposed piece of legislation. Look at this new bills could increase benefits by $2,400 and eliminate taxes on benefits, but that's not the only update. The Senior Citizens League projects a 2.7% Social Security COLA for 2026 as Social Security turns 90. Social Security benefits may grow in 2026, but will it be enough to cover your bills? That is the big question every retiree is asking right now, and today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about these developments, the bills in Congress, and what it could all mean for your wallet. I'll be walking you through every detail of these major developments, but here's what John Larson had to say.
We propose and have a plan to make sure that we increase benefits across the board for the more than 70 million people that are on Social Security. We make sure that nobody can retire into poverty.
I will show you the full video clip later in this video. Let's dive into the details. A brand new legislative push has been introduced in Congress, and if passed, it could change the way seniors live in retirement. The bill calls for a fixed $200 per month increase, adding up to $2,400 each year for every recipient. On top of that, it seeks to eliminate federal taxes on Social Security benefits for millions of Americans. At the same time, other legislation, like the Senior Citizens Tax Elimination Act and the Social Security Expansion Act, are also making headlines. Together, these bills demonstrate that Washington is finally paying attention to retirees who are struggling to keep up with rising living costs. The Senior Citizens League projects a 2.7% Social Security COLA for 2026 as Social Security turns 90. According to the Senior Citizens League, TSCL, the cost of living adjustment, or COLA, for 2026 is expected to come in at 2.7%. That may sound like a positive step, but when you put it side by side with the reality of inflation, rising housing costs, and skyrocketing medical expenses, many seniors feel it's not nearly enough. Remember, Social Security is celebrating its 90th anniversary, but the program still relies on an outdated formula, known as CPIW, to calculate COLA. This formula does not accurately reflect the actual spending patterns of retirees. For example, seniors spend far more on healthcare, prescription drugs, and housing than the average working household, yet those costs are underweighted in the CPIW. That's why so many experts and lawmakers are calling for a shift to CPE, a metric designed specifically to measure the real expenses of older Americans. If adopted, analysts say it could raise monthly checks by as much as $300 to $500, money that could mean the difference between skipping medications and living comfortably. The battle of the bills. Sanders versus Larson right now, two major proposals are gaining traction. The Social Security Expansion Act, spearheaded by Senator Bernie Sanders and Senator Elizabeth Warren. This bill not only adds $200 per month, but also extends the long-term solvency of the program by asking the wealthy to pay their fair share into Social Security.
We propose and have a plan to make sure that we increase benefits across the board for the more than 70 million people that are on Social Security. We make sure that nobody can retire into poverty. Imagine in this country that 5 million of our fellow Americans, 5 million, get below poverty level checks after having paid into a system all their lives in the wealthiest nation in the world.
The Social Security 2100 Act, introduced by Representative John Larson. His version also calls for across-the-board benefit increases, but it currently has fewer co-sponsors compared to the Sanders bill. Both bills highlight the urgent need to modernize Social Security, but the question remains, which one has the momentum to pass? And will either survive the political gridlock in Washington? Social Security benefits may grow in 2026, but will it be enough to cover your bills? That's the ultimate question. On paper, a 2.7% boost looks like progress. But when Medicare Part B premiums go up, and they almost always do, much of that increase is eaten away before it even reaches your bank account. Many seniors report that after paying for prescriptions, rent, utilities, and groceries, there is barely anything left. For perspective, Gallup recently released a report showing that grocery prices alone have risen by 21% over the past 3 years. Compare that to a 2.5% or 2.7% Social Security increase, and you can see why seniors feel like they are falling behind, not catching up. Why this matters now, the urgency comes down to one word: inflation. Seniors who worked their whole lives and contributed faithfully to Social Security are now receiving checks that don't reflect today's cost of living. Imagine living on less than $1,500 a month while rent, healthcare, and food prices climb every year. Experts estimate that around 5 million Americans currently receive Social Security checks that fall below the poverty line. In the wealthiest country in the world, that number is both shocking and unacceptable. These new bills are designed to fix that injustice and restore dignity to retirees. What would CPI do for you? Switching the COLA formula from CPIW to CPIE could be a game changer. CP is based on the actual spending patterns of elderly households, which means it takes into account things like prescription drug costs, Medicare premiums, housing, and rent utilities like heating and electricity, food staples like milk, eggs, and bread. If CPI were implemented, studies suggest the average senior could see benefits rise by an extra $300 to $500 each month. Imagine the impact that would have being able to afford healthier food, cover rising rent, or finally pay off medical debt. That is the million-dollar question. While bills like these attract attention, passing them through both chambers of Congress is never easy. Politics, budget fights, and upcoming elections all play a role. Some lawmakers argue that increasing benefits without raising revenue could endanger the solvency of the program. Others, like Sanders and Warren, argue that the richest Americans should contribute more to strengthen Social Security for everyone. Regardless, pressure is mounting. Advocacy groups like the Senior Citizens League are pushing harder than ever, and seniors across the country are demanding change. What can you do? If you support a Social Security increase, now is the time to speak up. Lawmakers pay attention when voters get loud. That's why I'm asking you directly. Backhand index pointing right, do you support a $500 monthly increase in Social Security SSI and SSDI benefits? Backhand index pointing right, do you support switching from CPIW to CPIE? If you do, write in the comments, I support Social Security increase. Or if you want to push for a better cost of living formula, type I support CPE. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Together, we can keep fighting for a stronger, fairer Social Security system. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and stay safe.